welcome back to another episode of Tormenta Talk. And a little look behind the scenes. This is our third take on our intro, and so hopefully we've got it down pat now. Zach and we had a little bit of technical difficulties, but we are the B team, and so Brian, Chris, and Luke were unavailable to record tonight, and so we wanted to get a jump on talking about some of these player signings that we've got an awesome group coming in, and so Zach, I'll turn it over to you to introduce yourself or whatever you got to say.
Yeah, like you said, I'm Zach. Excited. We got a great group of guys coming in. Scotty's starting to put together another great team. So looking forward to getting into it. It's the start of the best time of the year. So
Yes, absolutely. So excited that the long off season is almost over and it's almost time to get back to some soccer ways here in West Texas. And I don't think I introduced myself. I'm Cameron McQueen. Me and Zach are both members of the board of Tormenta. And so we just love West Texas FC and want to see it grow out here in West Texas. And we want to talk about some of these awesome players. And so starting out, we're going to talk a little about returning players. So we have a fantastic privilege of not getting all brand new guys all the time. We've got people that want to play here and want to be back here in Midland and Odessa, Texas. And so with that, we'll start off with Adim Arus. And Zach, remind me and remind the La Tormenta fan base of what was so fantastic about Adim.
man, he's just a big guy, always running, ready to score. Say my fondest memory is that game we played in Lubbock. I believe it was the opener goal. He just fought for it and launched one in, and great guy, played back a lot during the season. So yeah, no, great guy. He's familiar with Scotty. Scotty system, the way Scotty works. So it's good to have those foundational pieces in the locker room as you're getting a bunch of guys together during the season, in the off season. So it's good to have some guys that know how the system programs ran.
Yeah, absolutely. A culture building block, right? He knows the expectations. He knows what practice looks like. He knows what game day looks like, and he'll be able to help show the newbies what it's like. And yeah, you mentioned that Lubbock game where he got that early goal, and yeah, I think it was like 6 or 10 minutes in or something like that. It was very early, and it was just a stunner of a strike off of his left foot. He is a lefty, and that's a unique characteristic to get in our squad, is having some left-footed guys, and so that's exciting. And like you said, he's a big dude. And last year when Brian talked about him, he mentioned that he was like 19 years old or something like that, and Adim, after the first game, came and corrected Brian, and Brian says that he told him he was 18, but if I remember right, I think he might have said, I'm 17 until next week or, next month or something like that. So, Adim, you can correct us again when you get here this year, but we're excited to find out if you are 18 about to be 19 or you're 19 about to be 20. But either way, the guy does not look like a young kid. He is big and not just tall, but he is strong. And that bodes well for West Texas FC because he is technically gifted, so he's not a big old clumsy guy. He can move the ball well, and he can absorb a lot of pressure. He can fight off the press, he can hold the ball up, and he can defend really well. And so that's one of my favorite things about him is that, like Zach mentioned, he did play back quite a bit, but even the times when he was playing that winger position, he would turn around and track back onto defense hard. It wasn't just like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to go back now and help, but it was like, I'm getting that ball and we're turning around, we're going back with it. And so just very aggressive, competitive mentality. And speaking of that mentality, Zach, what happened this year with Adim?
Yeah, no, he was part of the NJCAA national championship team. So, going and being able to see that, develop that winning mindset, bring that out here, I'm very excited for it. Because,
Yep.
Winning is an attitude. And so being able to go and be part of a team that wins on such a large stage, nothing but great experience to bring back to some of these other guys.
Yep, absolutely. So he was definitely a part of some really big games with us and some, high pressure moments, some, big crowds that came to watch him. But then he also now has gone and won a national championship. So just like Zach's saying, that winning mentality is there. And that's important for a team. It's one thing to build up a team of all the most technically gifted guys, and it's a whole nother thing to bring in guys that have that grit and hunger and desire to go and win something. And that's what we get in Adam Arus. And so we're excited about that. Uh, any other thoughts on Adam before we move on?
Yeah, I'm just excited to see him back out there on the pitch, see what he does to his hair this season.
Yep, absolutely. Last thing I'll say is that he's a big set piece threat. When you've got a guy that I don't know, I'd guess he's 6'2". I haven't seen anything official, but he's a pretty
He's a
big.
bigger dude.
Yeah, he's a tall guy, and he's athletic, and so he can jump up, he can get up in the air, he can defend well, and then he can also get his head on a ball and put it in the goal for us. So we're excited to see all that materialize. So moving on from Adam, we've got more returners, and we are excited about all of them. And next one is our German center back, Justin Medeski. So tell us your fondest memory of good old Justin.
Man, he was just always reliable. He's cornerstone of the team last year, like you were saying. I mean, Scotty, when he was talking about it, first name on the team sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody he knew you could rely on. He was always there, always somebody, I mean, willing to play, willing to practice hard, never complained, never did any of that. Just a great guy to have on the team.
Yep, absolutely. And we were talking earlier, and I was telling Zach about what really impressed me with Justin is he just has a mind for the game. Like he may not be the biggest guy out there, he may not be the fastest guy out there, but he probably is the smartest guy out there. He really
Mm-hmm.
he can see the game unfolding in front of him, and that like helps him to time his tackles well. It helps him to step in and cut off those passes where they're trying to cut behind the lines on a run or whatever, and he does all that really well. And then he's ready to turn around and progress the ball. He's not just clearing it out to nowhere, just like, get it away. There is no panic in Justin
Yeah.
Medeski. He is
Yeah. It's not
pure
just give it to the goalie and let
calm.
the goalie figure it out. It's
Yeah,
he's actively trying to make a play happen.
yeah, absolutely. And then even when the pressure's on, it's like, oh, get the ball to Justin because
Mhm.
no one's pulling the ball off of his feet. It baffles me that he's a center back. Honestly, he handles the ball so
Yeah.
well, and again, he's looking, he's reading the game, he's breaking lines with his dribble, and then more pressure comes from the next line, and then he's breaking two lines with his pass to our strikers up front, and so it's, I mean, just absolute perfection to watch people try and press us when we've got Justin Medeski in the back there.
Yeah. And I mean, it's easy to look and, take defenders like him for granted, but yeah, no, don't, this upcoming season, don't take him for granted. Keep an eye out on him.
Yep,
Just watch him
absolutely.
and you'll learn something.
Yep, absolutely. And we've got several good defenders that we're looking at coming in already,
Mm-hmm.
and we've probably only announced about half the team. And so something that I wouldn't be shocked to see, because Justin Medeski is a name you want on the team sheet every week, I wouldn't be shocked to see him in maybe a center defensive midfield role
Mm-hmm.
because of the way that he can break the press, shield the defensive line, and handle the ball. Like he could move forward some if
Yeah.
in
Push him
order
up in
to,
the action.
yeah, in order to get his name on the sheet and then also to prioritize his skill sets. I wouldn't be shocked at all. Now, obviously, I'm no tactician or coach, and so we'll leave all that to Scotty. But that would be really cool to see him kind of playing in a different role at some point. So, anything else on Justin before we move on?
No, just excited to see him come back and see what he comes out with this year.
Yep, yep, he's going to be great. And again, another culture setter, another winning mindset that has been a part of Lone Star Conference championships, and he's ready to go to battle in the new USL2 format. So moving on from our German center back, we've got a left back out of Australia, one that goes by the name of Ryan Murchik, and some of these names they're tough for us. So Ryan, I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that, but know that you have all of our love, even if we can't pronounce your name.
Nothing rhymes with Merchich. Best champ
Nothing
from last
rhymes
year.
with Murph Chicks. Yep. Ryan was phenomenal last year. And so Zach, tell us what you remember about Ryan.
And I was recently watching the game we played in Lubbock last year, and at one point he had a strip down towards our box, pulled the ball away from one of their better players, and he sprinted with the ball 60 yards, toe tapping the sideline, and set up a play. And he did that all season. I mean, like you were saying, he had a game against Oklahoma that was the same way. And every game you'd look up and Ryan would be in a different position because he's running after the ball, running, trying to make something happen, and then so. Another, like we were talking about with Justin, being able to float around, being able to play wherever he needs. Hard worker, never stopped running. Great guy.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing that I've got in my notes here, especially after watching some highlights back, was Ryan Merchik is sneaky fast. He is, I mean, he doesn't look like he'd be super fast. He isn't always at full tilt, but when he needs to, man, the dude can
Mhm.
turn and burn. Super impressive. Um, Same thing for me. You know, you mentioned that play in Lubbock, and that wasn't the only time that happened. It happened multiple times through the season, but then in the Oklahoma City game, he did the same thing. Rips the ball away
Mhm.
down in that left back position, runs the length of the sideline on the left side. Then he cuts across and comes all the way across the field and ends up setting up a play over there where the next guy he passes to crosses it to the center, and boom, it's a score because it got their whole structure out of whack trying to follow this ball
Mhm.
moving all the way across the field by one guy. And so it set up a really easy tap in at the back post, which was really awesome. So, um, one quick note before we move on to any non returning players is any players that are listening to this that are prospects or that are curious about playing at West Texas FC, there's major benefit in like these guys highlights tapes were top notch above the rest because the quality of filming that goes on at West Texas FC in Astound Stadium is
Mhm.
so much better than anybody that we're playing against. And so whenever we're watching some of these highlight tapes, it's tough at the college level. You know, it's, you know, not always the best equipment, not always, you know, the best setup, you know, of where in the stadium they get to film from. But I tell you, if you're wanting a good montage to be able to send out to college coaches, pro coaches, scouts, that kind of stuff that you want to be able to progress in your career, West Texas FC is a great stop for that because Medeski, Ryan, these guys had fantastic highlight footage. And I mean, not to mention that they made it look good because they are good, but it also looked great because really high quality filming. And that's just another one of the benefits of coming out to beautiful West Texas to play the beautiful game.
Mhm. And also another thing about Ryan, his dad has the best coffee review platform on Instagram you'll find anywhere. So
Absolutely. Big
if
shout
you're
out to
looking for,
Frank and his coffee tours. Those happening in the outback of Australia, right?
yep. So if
Uh,
you're ever in Australia and need coffee, that's he's the
yep,
expert.
absolutely. Or if you're just looking for a good Instagram follow, Frank, I think it's Frank's Coffee Tours.
Yep.
Really, really fun follow. So, well, cool. So that is all of our returning players, and so we're going to try and get a jump start on some of the new guys. I don't know if we'll have time to get through all of them, but if we don't worry, we'll be coming back for more. So we've got another center back. This one from the massive country of Barbados, and his name is Tyreek Bailey Edwards. So, in looking over any film or anything like that, Zach, what stood out about Tyreek?
He's another big guy, big, strong, plays confident. And I mean, looking at his resume, NAIA All American, Conference Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year. So just an absolute stud. And yeah, you go and watch his tape, and it's just playing hard every down.
Yep.
Every time the ball's around him, he's fighting for it, getting it, winning it. Doesn't
Yeah.
take anything off.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody's noticed a theme, but I think big and strong is something we've said several times, and there's a couple more big, strong guys that we've got coming up. And Zach, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Tyreek maybe has a little bit of national team experience for Barbados, uh, and so
Yeah.
that's awesome. So back to that winning mentality, like someone playing for their nation is that's just phenomenal. And so really excited to see that level of experience coming into our squad here in Midland, Odessa, Texas. Um, One thing I notice when watching his game film is like he is a presence. Like
Mhm.
he is dominant. He is like, and we said big and strong. Like we're not kidding. This guy, some bone crunching tackles to maybe put a little fear of God in some of the opposing attackers. Right?
Yeah. Think twice
I
before you come through.
yeah, I'd be, you know, putting a little extra tape on my ACL if I was playing against Tyreek, man. He he's not afraid to go in strong and win that ball. And then like some of these other guys we've talked about, he progresses it well. He's not just, you know, bone crunching tackle and then big huge clearance, you know, out
Mhm.
of bounds or whatever. No, he's doing the tackle, standing up, retaining the ball, and then distributing well with some dimes. out of the back,
Mhm.
like, not just a little pass to midfield, but some really long, good passes. And so really impressive stuff. And then lastly, I think he absorbs the press really well, similar to how we talked about Justin. It's really important for a team to have, ball handlers on that defensive line, because then that draws the opponent
Mhm.
into you, which only opens up space behind them for your midfielders, your forwards to work in. And so he can draw that press to him and then work around it, get a pass, cut through some lines. And so it's really
Yeah, you're
exciting.
not pushing him off the ball.
Yeah, absolutely not. Yeah. Yeah. He
Yeah,
can hold
same.
up.
Yeah, yeah. Talked about with the dim how he's great at he's a set piece scorer, a real
Mm,
weapon.
yep.
Tyreek's a set piece killer.
Yeah.
So being able to stop other teams, because I mean, soccer nowadays, a lot of it's evolved around set pieces and things like
Hmm.
that. Having him be able and just clear out and clean up any corners and things like that,
Yeah.
immeasurably valuable.
And I mean, yeah, exactly what you're talking about. I think we've got not only set piece threats going forward,
Mhm.
but we got a lot of really good set piece defenders that we're looking at having in the squad. There's always going to be, 3 or 4 guys over 6 foot on the pitch, it
Mhm.
looks like at this point. And so that's really exciting to know that, it's not going to just be lobs over the top and we're going to be in trouble. We're going to be ready to step up, defend that, and then counterattack. So super awesome. Well, cool. Anything else on Tyreek?
Nope, just excited to meet him. Welcome him to Midland.
Yep, can't wait to see you here in Midland, Tyreek. Next, we have another center back. So we're filling out the defense quick. This one is from Ireland. Goes by the name of Ben Buckley. Um, from what I could tell, looking at highlights, it looks like Ben is another left footer. And which again, that's important to be able to
Mhm.
have some of those across the pitch. You got Adam on the wing, now you've got Ben in the back line, and so that's really exciting to see. What stood out to you, Zach?
Um, well, first, I mean, he goes to school with Ryan. So I
Okay,
know
yeah.
Scotty had touched last year. He likes to make sure players didn't come alone. So there's a sense
Mm-hmm.
of camaraderie, but he also captained that team.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I know the kind of guy Ryan was.
Yep.
The captain of that team, I can imagine, I mean, has to be a great guy. Yeah, just watching him, I mean, always fluid with the ball. He was all conference second team the last 2 years. Doesn't happen. Won the League of Ireland U19 Shield League. So, I mean,
Yep.
another proven winner, another proven great guy, good team player, team chemistry. But as far as the on the field stuff goes, yeah, like I said, fluid, smart, never goes back to all the same stuff. Not scared of the pressure, not scared of the moment.
Yep. And again, we'll just stick on our theme. This guy's big and strong. I don't know if we've said that at all
Yep.
today, but this guy is big and strong. I think, another over 6 foot guy. He's not light by any means. He is fully there, muscle. He's ready to take on a challenge and give a challenge. And then again, great downfield vision.
Mhm.
He finds good passes. He progresses the ball well. He absorbs that pressure, just like you were saying. He's ready to get those tackles in and then move forward with the ball, not just let's go to safety. Sometimes you have to. That it's
Yeah.
a knowing when is important as well. But if it's your only move, then that's not helpful always, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, and the one thing I saw with him, his long ball looked deadly. Looked like he had a very accurate long ball off that left foot, and that I think we had that last year in Cam Watts. It just proved to be so helpful at times. There's
Mhm.
it's good to have kind of that balance of you've got a Justin that can break lines by dribbling and then sharp, concise passing, and then have a guy like this that can just go over the top. If we've got the speed on him one game, if we don't another game,
Mhm.
we've got all that flexibility. So it's really exciting. Can't wait to see Ben here in Midland.
Yeah. Great guy.
Cool. So moving on, we have one from the United States of America, Jackson Gould, and he looks to be a forward and a right footer. So what do you see with Jackson?
Man, he was deadly. If you we were going through highlights he had posted, and man, he killer with it. But also,
Yep.
and crazy assist as well. It wasn't all
Yep.
just goals. He was several of them. You think I thought he was about to shoot, and he dished it off to the wide open guy for the chip
Yep.
in. So yeah, no, he's fast. Not as from what I could tell, not as big and strong, but fast,
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure strong. Not near as big as some of the others, but yeah, I'm sure
Yeah.
strong. Um, Yeah, and so what I put down in my notes is chance creator. To
Mhm.
talk back on your assist or whatever, you know, he definitely isn't afraid to go score a goal, but you sometimes are just shocked, just like you were saying. You see him going in, one on one with the keeper with maybe a guy kind of trailing on his side, and it's like, oh, that's a for sure fire that shot off. And then I'm sitting there watching the highlight, and I don't even see the wide open player
Mhm.
tracking alongside him. And dude, he just perfect dish, and then it's easy goal at that point instead of taking the hard chance. So good decision maker, it seems like as well. Not one looking for all the glory and everything, but he wants to win games. And so again, he's got that championship mentality that we're looking for
Mhm.
here.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, D1 schools, not, I mean, so he's been playing with hard competition. He's used to that
mhm.
NEC conference. So, yeah,
Yeah,
I'm excited to see what he brings
I,
down here.
you might have said this already, but I think he led his high school team to a state title also and was
Mhm.
MVP of that. And so that's awesome. I felt that for a forward, something that some forwards do well, some don't, is hold up play. So you get that big boot from a Ben Buckley down to you,
Mhm.
and you receive the ball, and you're kind of on an island with three defenders, and you're the only one there. And some guys just attack, attack, attack. I thought Jackson did a good job of holding up, waiting for the supporting cast to come flying in
Mhm.
to where you get a good attack instead of just like flinging a shot randomly. And so, again, high IQ kid, it looks like. And so, very excited for Jackson. Any other thoughts?
No, excited to see what that New York mentality is like down here in Odessa.
Yeah,
Live in Odessa.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so moving on. Uh, Still in the attack, and so not all defenders. We've got some attackers coming in. We've got Liam Pritchard from the UK, England. Looks like a right-footed winger or possibly a striker at times. And so, what'd you see there, scouting him out?
Man, going back to big and strong, but also the same fluidity. I mean, like you say, he's a winger, could play striker, and I'm sure if he had to, he could play backline.
Yeah,
But real smart guy. He's played same school for 4 years, so reliable, trustworthy. They won the D2 national championship last year, and he was tournament MVP.
yep,
And watching that last game, he had the goal to seal it.
yep.
Just as is a dog. I mean, he's familiar with this level of competition. He's been playing with Duluth in the MPSL, which we were just a part of. So, I mean, he knows what it's about. Great
And
guy.
and they were a great team, right? So
Mhm.
it wasn't like he was playing at some bum place or whatever. Like, he was playing some real competition there at Duluth, and I think they had some great seasons. And so that's just really exciting to know that we're getting some of that, winner mentality, that born and bred winner coming over. Um, One thing I
Captain
wrote
again as
down.
well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So more
more
of that
leadership.
leadership. So I
Yep.
think I think it's easy to tell what Scotty's going for. So
Yeah, exactly. We're figuring out his playbook. One thing I wrote down about him is a chance creator. So similar to what we said about Jackson, he absolutely can score goals, and I think he was a Golden Ball nominee, MPSL MVP of the North Division, and so he can score goals, like no question there. But he gets a lot of assists too, and he is looking for the smart play. He's looking to find ways to set up his teammates so that they can win games instead of just firing off a random shot all the time.
Mhm.
So super exciting. But with that said, I watched the goal that he scored in, I think it was that national championship game. Dude, clinical finisher also.
Yeah, nuts.
Yeah, just such a rocket there off of that right foot, and the keeper had no chance. The defenders
Mhm.
they weren't keeping up with him, and so from what I've seen, he looks like he's fast, and so he's going to be able to bust some lines, receive some of those passes from these guys we've been talking about, and turn and do something with it. And so that's really
Mhm.
exciting.
Yeah, no. Again, more championship, more winning mentality, more leadership coming. So
Yep, exactly. So I think we've got one more that we're going to get to tonight. And so this one is another USA and Puerto Rico, it looks like. So Ian Silva is his name. And looks like he's our first midfielder that we're talking about, center mid.
mhm.
What do you see about that? What excites you on that one?
Man, he's fast.
Yeah,
Watching him and then his set pieces, setting him up, was dropping absolute dimes on free kicks and corners.
yeah,
So yeah, no, very smart player, very crazy, crazy boot. So, and again,
Yeah.
I know we're preaching on it, but he played for Puerto Rico, the U20 team. He captained it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
more leader. You're not going to be a captain of a team like that unless you're a great
Right.
guy.
And
People
again,
respect.
national team experience, right? And
Yep.
so, I mean, he's playing at a really high level. And I've seen his highlights from playing at that high level. Dude is good. He, again, I think we said this about Justin, but you're not getting the ball off of his feet unless he's ready
No.
to pass it off or do something with it. He is creative. He's constantly making people miss, doing things that it's like, oh, would have never expected that. And so, really excited about Ian. Um, and I think the one thing that really looked to set Ian apart is he has that midfield engine that you always hope for, of
Mhm.
like just that never say done, and he's constantly going after the ball. You see a teammate lose the ball, boom, he's flying in to get it back, and then he's setting up something to go on the attack. And so, just going to be a great addition, I think. Ian, he looks really solid.
Yeah, and I mean he has USL2 experience,
Yeah.
so he knows what the competition's like. He knows what he's doing. So
Yep, absolutely. Well, so I think that finishes all the ones that we have got our research in on. There are a couple other signings that we've received that we're wanting to do a little more research before we open our mouths and say something wrong about. But to all of you that have been highlighted so far, we are super excited to have you coming to Midland. We can't wait to meet you. We can't wait for some of you to return here to Midland. And to anyone that has gotten a call from Scotty, message, DM, whatever, saying, hey, are you interested? Go check out those highlight tapes. Go and see what we're about from the previous seasons. Go look at the success and consider, like, man, this is probably going to be good for my career, right? And get back to Scotty and say, hey, I'm in.
yeah, no, it's great club, great team, great coaching staff, great players.
Yep. And you got a supporters group here that loves you
Yep.
endlessly. And so, we're pumped. We're excited for this upcoming season. It's going to be a new adventure in the USL. I was looking at some of the rules and regs earlier to see what's different about it. One thing I noticed is it doesn't look like at the end of the season you immediately go into playoffs against people in your exact same conference. You actually get to play some different areas and stuff.
Outside
So
of the
yeah, so I think that'll be super exciting and fun. I'm confident we'll be in the playoffs again. That's, it's in our DNA, and then with all these championship mentality kind of guys, we're absolutely going to be fighting for titles. We're going to be fighting for a long playoff run, deep playoff run. So can't wait.
yeah, no, great group of guys coming in. Excited to get meeting with them and see play on the pitch finally.
Absolutely. Well, I think that does it for us here at Tormenta Talk. So with that, we'll give a Vamos West Texas FC from Cameron.
Vamos.
Vamos.